Okay, we're back. I got the malfunctioning paint to work properly for the rest of the spray. Of course, it was putting spray paint all over my phone, all over my gloves, everything. So another thing, I always use gloves because here's why. You're spraying, this is what happens, okay? Sometimes it's not quite as bad, but it's pretty bad, pretty much bad. You don't want that on your fingers, unless you really like to, the grunge look or whatever. So you can kind of see before and after here. The sun keeps trying to ruin this for me, but you can see before and after. You can kind of see what I've gotten here on this thing, which is just, because we cleaned it up, we smoothed it up. I mean, it's turning out pretty nice. It's actually still wet, hasn't even started drying yet. The only thing I got was a couple little tiny, like, spray spots from the malfunctioning nozzle, which I'm not even going to worry about. You could, sand that later and repaint it, or sometimes I've even took a cloth and just wiped it real fast and repainted the whole thing. Now if I get it all done and see that it's it's not quite as thick as I want, I can reshoot it again. But you can kind of see it looks a lot different. And one of the things I've learned over the years, I had a guy that worked for me as a paint shop guy. He had spent like 20 years, 30 years working in different paint shops, and he was really good. He was old, he was super decrepit, he was on his last legs, he was slow as dirt, but working with body stuff is like kind of a slow process. But he would always say, let's not get psychotic, Kenny. Let's not get psychotic. I always remember his words of wisdom. Let's not get psychotic. And what was he saying? What did he mean? He meant you could look at this, you could find something wrong with it. Okay, you can find something wrong with it. 100% guarantee you can find something wrong with it. Or you can say, hey, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. And I did this in about 15 minutes. Got this here on this little desk, cleaned it, sanded it up, painted it, 15 minutes, and it looks nice. Okay, to me, that's a good amount of effort for this. This is not going in the Concours d'Elegance. This is not going to Volkswagen in their museum. This is just something that when somebody looks at it, they're going to say, wow, that looks nice. Okay, so you can get it to the level of nice without it being a ridiculous amount of effort. And I think that's something to remember, guys, that it doesn't need to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, so be happy with that's nice. Don't get caught up on perfection, because perfection does not exist. The Lord in heaven is perfect. The rest of us, we're only as good as we're going to get. Okay, we can do the best we can do. That is it. Okay, so if you get stuck on perfection, you're never going to complete a project. You're never going to be satisfied with a project that you finish. Okay, if you can get to the point where you can say, hey, that looks nice, I did a nice job, you can be satisfied with what you've done, you did your best, and don't get stuck on the small stuff. Okay, don't sweat the small stuff. So that's my little mini video on painting these side panels. Basically, this little bit I showed you, you can apply to all the rest of it. The bumpers, the side pieces, everything's pretty much the same. The only thing you want to kind of look for too, I've got some of these side pieces sitting here that are ready to get painted eventually. Around these holes here, it can be cracked, can be broken. You might want to reinforce that on the backside with some fiberglass or epoxy or something to keep that from getting worse. And then you might want to use some spot filler right here. I mean, we can see it's got a little bit of a break right here, and this is kind of slightly broken, but it's good on this side. So I mean, when you paint it, it's going to hide a lot of this. This is going to be down low where people aren't going to really see it that much. I mean, you're going to definitely see it now because I showed it to you in this video in a super close-up. And if you came to the house, you'd be like, oh, I see that little crack thing right there that you showed me. But if this was real life and you're looking at the car as an overview, you're not going to notice it. So it's up to you whether you, again, spend extra time and money an effort fixing this, or you just kind of fill it and sand it up a little bit and just say, hey, you know what, it's just for looks anyway. Okay, these side pieces, their entire job is looks. Okay, so again, keep it in perspective. So that's it, guys. I'm going to continue on today, hopefully get all this stuff painted, get ready to put it back on the car, and then we will show you guys the final product. Please like, share, and subscribe, guys. Have a great one.